What's going on, everybody? It's the Bulls Show, aka Aiden, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, the comeback Bulls are back and they pick up a massive victory over the Memphis Grizzlies. The second best team as of that point in time in the Western Conference came over to Chicago and tried to absolutely demolish us at home. And they came close to succeeding. They did. It wasn't necessarily a far-gone conclusion that the Bulls were going to win, but a strong second half comeback performance sealed our name as the winners of this game. And again, it feels good to finally do that to another team. Normally, it's every team doing it to us. The amount of losses we've experienced in that way is unbelievable. I feel like we are the top team in the league that loses after having a 20-point lead and stuff like that. But we got the job done today, and we ended up doing that to another team, which is also a very, very good feeling. But of course, we'll get started on that in this video. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls and your overall thoughts on the game, your player of the game and stuff of that nature, as well as how big of a win this could be for the Chicago Bulls. I don't at this point in time necessarily know the implications of winning this game. I did hear that if things went according to our way, we could have had a play-in spot today. But nevertheless, we've got to focus on ourselves. Still got a lot of games to focus on as well. And again, we'll just have to wait and see how things go in that area. But we won this game 128 to 107. And again, great performance by the Chicago Bulls in the second half. I want to specify, in the second half, it was a great performance. Because it was a game of two halves. Again, this is why we're called the comeback Bulls. And this is why I call them the comeback Bulls. Because we don't play 4 quarters of basketball. And sometimes that hurts us. And sometimes we have to try and come back from big leads. Or we have to try and fight all the way back. And either we fall short, or in this instance, we pick up a big victory. And again, I can't specify how great that comeback was. I can't believe the effort that we put in on the defensive end. Of course, Memphis came in the first half, was hitting everything. Absolutely everything. Ja Morant hitting everything. Desmond Bane hitting everything. Dylan Brooks hitting everything. All of them were hitting every shot they could possibly think of. And it was a very, very, very disappointing first half performance. It was. There's no other way to describe it. Again, there was at some point, it was what, a 22, 23 point lead on the night. Just, again, not good enough from the Chicago Bulls side of things. But again, we ended up playing really well in transition, playing really good defense. Guys like DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine, both with 30 plus points. Our bench combined for 41 points. Again, phenomenal stuff by this Bulls team to get us back into the lead. And not only did we get into the lead, we won this game by 21 points in this game. So again, it was definitely a game of two halves, and Memphis absolutely collapsed in that second half, and the Bulls shined through in the second half. It was a beautiful performance, and I am very proud of this team. But again, to me, the win is the most important thing. I will have to specify. The feelings behind this win is fantastic. You obviously want comeback wins. You obviously want to see your team do a miracle, do the impossible. And the Bulls don't often do that on their season. So to do it in this game is a fantastic feeling. But the win is the most important thing. If we were blowing out Memphis for 50 points the entire game, and we were on cruise control for all 4 quarters and we won this game, it's just as important. And if we won this game by 1 point, in a tight affair, and Zach LaVine hits a full court 360 buzzer beater and we win the game or anything like that, then again, it's the win that means the most right now. To get into that play-in tournament, you got to win those games. And thankfully, we won this game. And I'm very, very proud that the Bulls did not give up in this game. I'm extremely proud of that. And it's something that we don't usually see. And that's why I think most people are very excited and talking about this game like it's some crazy event that's happened for us. It's because we tend to give up when things get a little bit hard for us. We do. I don't think our team is completely strong mentality-wise. But again, maybe this could be the game that could prove a lot of Bulls fans wrong when they say things like that and how I just said it now. It's a great start. We still got a long way to go in terms of, look, we've got 4 games left, I believe, in the season. The Bucks, you got the Hawks, Dallas, Pistons, you know, I think that's all of our games, and they're not easy games for the Chicago Bulls. But if we could beat Memphis, I truly believe we could beat anybody in the East and the Western Conference. But I've known that all along. It's just about putting those performances together. We could beat the best teams in the East and the West, but we could lose to the worst teams in the East and the West. That's our season. That's how it's been. We could beat anybody and lose to anybody. So it just depends on which Bulls teams decide to show up on any given night. Thankfully, this was the Bulls team that didn't give up, fought all the way back, and was just truly phenomenal. I will quickly go into the individual performances. Let's start off with DeMar DeRozan, 31 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists and 1 steal. Again, an incredible performance in terms of the second half. I think the first half, again, he was probably one of our worst players, to be honest. He just wasn't really doing much. A lot of his shots fell short and everything like that. But in the second half, he picked things up. He was incredible. He got to the free throw line a lot in this game. Very, very happy with DeMar DeRozan's performance overall. Big part of why we came back and won this game. Caruso, 5 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists with 3 steals and 2 blocks. Defensively, unbelievable. 2 from 2 from the field, or 2 from 3, sorry, from the field. My apologies. 66% overall. He made a couple of open shots. That's really all I got to say about his offense. But again, very, very nice stuff from Alex Caruso on the defensive end. You got Vucevic, 13 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal and 1 block. I've got to be honest, and maybe this is because, you know, I wasn't really paying attention to it or something like that. Maybe because the game was so early on in the morning. I very rarely noticed Vucevic in this game. I did notice he had 10 rebounds overall, but most of those rebounds were like in the first 2 minutes of the game. Again, you probably could have seen a little bit more from the rebounding side from Vucevic, but it is what it is. Still gets his double-double. I would like to see a little bit more contribution on the offensive end, but again, good efficiency. Just didn't really take the shots that I think he needed to get us, I guess, even further beyond, but it is what it is. Zach LaVine, 36 points, 3 rebounds, and 9 assists with 1 steal. I felt like Zach LaVine had to work very hard for every single point he was given today. And not only was he efficient, he was really effective in this game. 9 assists is fantastic to see from someone that we always scream about not wanting the ball in his hands in terms of being a point guard. But he got 9 assists today. That's fantastic from Zach LaVine. 36 points. Memphis are no pushover on the defensive end. In fact, I'm going to give Memphis the world of respect here. If there are 2 teams that I want the Chicago Bulls to model their style of play from, it'd be the Golden State Warriors and it'd be the Memphis Grizzlies. Those are the 2 teams I look at and say I'd love to see the Bulls play that way. Look, I know we beat Memphis, so a lot of people will just say, haha, we beat Memphis, we're better than them, whatever. It's not, look, you could say whatever you like. I'm not in those, I'm not here to play those types of games. I think Memphis are a great team. They've beaten us before. We've got them back today. Great. But Memphis were great in transition, shot the 3 ball very, very well, defensively strong in the half of basketball today. And that's what they're known for most of the season. And with the Warriors, their passing, their just ball movement is unbelievable. They seem to know where everybody's going to be at any given time. And it's just, it's a beautiful game to watch when you watch the Golden State Warriors. Everything happens for a reason, and everybody knows everything about the team. The chemistry is on another level. When they're playing well, of course, this season's been up and down for sure. But the model and the style of play, those 2 teams I look at and say I'd want to play like them. And sometimes the Spurs, but the Spurs are obviously a tanking team this season. So, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily pick the Spurs. But that's the respect I have for Memphis. But again, Zach LaVine was fantastic in this game. He absolutely was. And there is 100% no denying that. Working very hard for his points, and he was extremely efficient. I can't ask for much more than that performance from Zach LaVine. That is a max contract level performance, if I do say so myself. Patrick Beverley, 2 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 from 5 from the field, 0 from 3 from the 3-point line. Patrick Beverley, I don't know what really to say about Patrick Beverley. I felt like in some moments he contributed very well, and other moments he has been very disappointing. Zach LaVine, sorry, my apologies. Patrick Beverley reminds me a lot of Alex Caruso on the offensive end. He really, really does. I feel like they're both. And this is the game plan for teams now. They're making guys like Patrick Beverley and Alex Caruso shoot the ball. And it didn't work in this game, but the Lakers did it. And I think Philly did it to an extent as well. So it's not like this is going to be something that we never see again. Teams are going to prioritize letting Patrick Beverley and Alex Caruso shoot the ball. So those guys have to make them pay. And it's too inconsistent for us to really believe that they can do it or they can't do it. I don't know. On any given night, it could be something. Which is why, for example, if we're in a playoff position and we're versing a team like the Boston Celtics, let's say, we have the matchup advantages, but they're going to prioritize letting Alex Caruso, Patrick Beverley shoot. We could win one of the 2 games based on that alone, but it's not going to be consistent enough to win a whole series. And again, I know Bulls fans don't expect to win a series when we get into the playoffs, but that's the example I'm trying to bring to you. Any given night, it's a different result between those 2 players. So we need to see a little bit more consistency out of them and make them pay for leaving them open. And then our bench, I thought our bench was fairly solid today. Patrick Williams, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist and 1 steal with 3 blocks. The guy's cooking in terms of blocks. I feel like every time I look at Patrick Williams' stats, he's getting blocks galore. So fair play to him. Kobe White, 19 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal. I'm loving Kobe White's performances as of late. Huge part of how the Bulls came back into this game. I thought he was unbelievable in the second half. And again, I'm seeing a lot of great potential out of him, and I, for the life of me, want to see the Bulls keep Kobe White. I know there are still people out there that don't have that faith in Kobe White, but I think the majority of the Bulls fan base is really starting to turn back into believing in Kobe White again, which is obviously a good thing. You want to believe in these players as much as possible. It's never a nice feeling to say someone should get traded. I don't like this player. This player does nothing for the Bulls, and anything like that. It sucks when you have to say these things about a player on your team. So when people say those things and then see the improvements, see the play, see the defense, see the offense, see everything you need to see to put yourself as a believer again, it's the best feeling in the world, I think, for people to really change their mind in a positive way. And that's how I think Kobe White is starting to perceive himself as a Chicago Bulls player. That's how Bulls fans perceive Kobe White now. Someone that's changed their mind, which is fantastic. Andre Drummond, 2 points and 3 rebounds. Only played 6 minutes today, so I'm not going to say too much about Andre Drummond. Just quickly move on. Io in 18 minutes of action, 4 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist on the night, 2 from 4 from the field, 0 from 1 from the 3-point line. I mean, with Io, it's just up and down at the moment, isn't it? Some games he's been fantastic, great transition offense, really, really solid. Other games a little bit quieter. I think it just depends on the game that you see, the matchups of the opponent. If a team's going to run back like Memphis, I don't think you're going to see the best out of Io. But if you get a team like, for example, I'll throw out the Denver Nuggets here just because we versed them recently, that don't run back in transition, Io's probably going to have an amazing game and stuff like that. So that's how I feel. Derek Jones Jr. with 4 points and 1 steal on the night. And that's it for the individual performances. The must improve for me will probably be Io, 17 minutes. I just felt like he could... Actually, no, I changed my mind. The must improve will be Patrick Beverley. Again, I think in terms of the plus-minus side of things, I think he's -1, if I'm not mistaken, on the plus-minus. Played 23 minutes today and provided little to no offense to speak of, besides obviously a couple of assists, which is not too bad. The player of the game for me, I'm going to pick Zach LaVine, but pick your poison. Kobe White, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, all of them should be extremely praised for their performances in this game. Fantastic stuff to see, and I've loved every single bit of it. Now we move over into our next game, and that will be against the Atlanta Hawks. Again, I'm unsure if the Bulls have actually qualified for a play-in spot as of yet. Things had to go in our favor. I don't actually know if they did or not. Again, I haven't checked, and I apologize for that. But at the end of the day, a fantastic game for the Bulls. Move over into the Hawks game. We know the Hawks is going to be close, competitive, tough battle, but the Bulls have proven they can beat the Hawks. So this game becomes a must-win. If you want to fight over the Hawks in the play-in tournament, you have to win this game first and foremost. If you want to give yourself a chance at a double chance in the play-in tournament, you got to win this game. You got to win every game from here on out, and hope that the schedules prove to be too difficult for teams like Atlanta and teams like the Raptors to overcome. I feel like I feel extremely positive that we're going to be in the play-in at this point. I feel massively confident. If it hasn't happened already, that is. Because the Wizards are losing games, the Pacers are losing games, left, right, and center. I think the Pacers' schedule is difficult. I don't necessarily know much about the Wizards' schedule right now, but I'm pretty sure they've been up and down all season, just like the Bulls in many ways. So you do expect them to lose a game every now and then, and we're at that point in the season where one loss or one win will define our season. So we get the next win, puts us from a 99% to 99.9% or 100% or whenever it's officially a play-in tournament spot for the Bulls, and that means we can keep on battling to see if we can go higher up in the tournament, or B, we can rest players. We can rest guys like Caruso, who's dealing with foot injuries every game. We can rest guys like Javonte, who's barely plays anymore anyway. If you're worried about players like Zach LaVine and his knee, if you still have those issues, well, you can rest Zach LaVine. DeMar DeRozan's had a quad strain, I believe, for a lot of the season. You can rest him for a couple of games. And yeah, you could try to do those things, or you could keep on playing them and see how we go. And again, maybe just try and focus on minimizing minutes if we can and stuff like that. It depends on how the Bulls approach it, but again, a very, very good win, a must-win game, and thankfully we got it done. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next Chicago Bulls video. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care.